Wow, what a finish at the 10th annual VirginiaPreps.com basketball classic here at Green River High School. And I'm with Patriot head basketball coach Sherman Rivers. His team defeats Oscar Smith on a buzzer beater, 57-56 from guard Ike Onwuku. Coach, you guys were down about 4, I think, with a minute to go. It looked like it was slipping out of your grasp. A back-and-forth game with two Class 6 title contenders yourselves and Oscar Smith. And how did your kids persevere without a key guy in the middle and Ja'Kai Moore, who's out today?
Well, you know, missing Ja'Kai obviously is big for us. He's a big guy. He scores around the basket course. We also were missing our 6th man, and Yusuf Salih had to sit out with a little bit of a knee issue. So we were down 2 rotation guys. It was big time for the way that the guys played. We actually threw a JV kid in there at one time, another guard that hasn't really got any minutes all year, to try to get these guys some rest because we had a tough game last night coming down. But, you know, we were able to persevere, like you said, and pull the victory out at the end.
This is a different team, Patriot team, that I've seen live from a month ago when you played Monacan in the Henrico Holiday Hoops Tournament. You lost 2 of 3 there. Could have easily won 2 or 3 or the whole thing there, but
Correct.
You beat Battlefield and Oscar Smith back-to-back days. I think now the state recognizes this Patriot program, which last year you came to, you lost a double overtime playoff game to Woodson. You guys are on the rise and you have big aspirations and goals.
Well, you know, the biggest thing that we try to do, this is going back 2 years when I first got the job, was convincing these kids that they're supposed to win games like this. You know, the belief is always a big deal when it comes to kids, and right now they get into situations and they feel like they're going to come out on top no matter the situation. I mean, we were down 4, we had just turned it over, I think, twice. Drake Marshall was one of the people that had thrown the ball away, then he threw it to Miles and we had a little, fumble of the ball, and then he comes up with a huge defensive stop on the charge, on the ball, on the sideline to get us the ball back. You know, Ike drives it to the basket. He doesn't finish. He doesn't let that stay with him. We always talk about next play, next play. He doesn't finish that one. We get the ball back. He goes and he makes a winning layup. So
yeah, we'll get to those. We'll get to those guys. Absolutely, Ike playing great, and your 2 shooters, and Jay Villani and Drake Marshall in a minute. But you came from Potomac, of course, playing there. You know about the Potomac, the program Keith Honore has there. I know you have a ton of respect. And talk about some of the things you guys did at Potomac. I know you were an assistant there that you've tried to instill here at Patriot to make this program, which has had some talent, but sort of been 500-ish to now where you are thinking about championships.
Well, one of the things that's great about Potomac, obviously being a player there, graduating in '99, I'm kind of dating myself, but that's okay. Playing under Kendall Hayes, then coaching with Keith Honore, who's able to continue the tradition and kind of make some of his own. One thing about that program is that I always tell the kids, they're here. Where everybody else is kind of with the dips and up and down in the roller coaster, Potomac has always been steady, and then they have spikes. And that's what we want to try to get to. We don't want to have the roller coaster ride and the dips. We want to have consistency and then have the spikes up. Next thing you know, a 2-point game becomes a 5-point game, becomes an 8 to 10-point game. And even when they're not going your way and you're kind of going back and forth, the belief that you're always going to win a game, not just you're in a game, but we're supposed to win. And that's something that obviously I got from there, got from Coach Hayes, got from Keith Honore, got from that Potomac tradition. So we're kind of instilling that in these kids now here at Patriot High School.
Well, and Ike coming from the football field, much like Ja'Kai coming in, he's been your point guard. I know there's been some ups and downs with him, but he's starting to be playing really steady for that. Third quarter, I thought he stabilized you.
He did.
And then Villani and Marshall were kind of known as just shooters, but now you're seeing, like you mentioned, take a charge here, get a key rebound there. They're becoming more well-rounded basketball players.
Right. Well, you know, obviously Jay Villani is known as being a great shooter, but on top of that, he's been an excellent defender for us. I mean, more so last night, he did an excellent job on Braden Galt, who's one of the top players in the state, and makes timely baskets for us. Drake Marshall has been our leading rebounder the last 2 years. I know a lot of guys see his frame and think, oh, he's just kind of perimeter dude. He scored 21 points last night and didn't make 1 3-pointer. He's getting to the line multiple times a game, shooting 80%. So the way he's able to mix it up and play inside for us and outside, he causes matchup problems for teams. And, you know, I can't say enough about him. I mean, Ike, you know, I talk about him all the time. I think he's no doubt the best athlete in our school, one of the best athletes in the state. You know, a 2-sport guy. You know, I hope he's finally getting his due as far as getting the recognition he deserves because he's been putting in the work and he deserves it.
Well, he showed it today. And correct me if I'm wrong from your survey, if I remember preseason, Villani, a Renaissance man, you called him? He's one of the top cello players or something, I believe?
Jay Villani is one of the top cello players in the county. I mean, he's a kid that's got a 4.2 grade point average. He aspires to be a Princeton student.
That transfers onto the basketball court, does it not, though?
It does. I mean, very intelligent. I mean, there's some times where I'm thinking of calls, and I look at Jay and I said, well, you're responsible for getting this organized. Sometimes, even last night, I asked him, I said, what do you feel comfortable with? And he looks out there, and he thinks that something about having 3 plays ago. Well, they're flashing guy up here, coach, maybe we can run this. He's very cerebral, and then he's also a very good basketball player.
And lastly, you had a game like this with Western Branch that you lost back in December. You know, they were number 1 in the state, undefeated, and that's the Western Branch. Last time was watched today. Potential state opponents, if you guys are fortunate enough to get there.
Right.
To win a game the way that you might have lost one in December, is that just the growth you're seeing out of this team now?
It's, you know, as a basketball coach, you want your team getting better as the season goes along. And obviously you saw us early. Western Branch was a game we didn't pull out at the end. They made some plays and were able to win that game. Christmas Sherman and Henrico, we had a game against Monacan that went down to a buzzer beater on the other side, basically. So we've been in close games. Now we're starting to make those plays to win those games. We got a big win at South County. It was sort of the same sort of situation where it was back and forth. It was tight, and then we made a play or two at the end to kind of pull it out. Battlefield was like that last night. This game today was like that. You know, and these are, like you said, top teams in the state.
It prepares you for tournament time.
And you know, when I made the schedule, I really want to have us be battle tested when the playoffs came. After the Christmas term, I started rethinking, maybe I shouldn't have did this because it wasn't going the way I thought, and I didn't want us to lose confidence. But after that, we've won 8 and 9. We've pulled out some big wins against some very good teams, and hopefully we can continue doing this through the rest of the season.
Great job. Thanks so much. Safe travels.
Thank you.